Hello everyone, this is Tricky and welcome back to another video. As most of you already know, there were leaks about several Alolan forms and the starter evolutions, and the most interesting thing about it is that they were revealed months before the release of the games. The leaks kinda turned out to be real, which was very surprising, as most leaked Pokemon turn out to be fake, but the sources who gave us the list of potential Pokemon and features turned out to be completely true, such as the final evolutions of the starters. They also revealed a lot of totem Pokemon who were not officially released yet, such as Lurantis and a feminine-like Pokemon who turned out to be Salazzle. This list was revealed just a few months after the first trailer for Sun and Moon. Among the starter evolutions, there are a lot of other Alolan forms and new Pokemon who were also on the list, and they wanted to share these with you. I'm so sorry for being so sniffly. I am getting a very bad cold. With that said, I know that a lot of these Pokemon have been covered by others and were confirmed to be fake. I just wanted to cover the ones that I really wish were real. It really just makes you think because some of these leaks turned out to be true, and what if these Pokemon were just ideas that were eventually scrapped from the games? And I know that's not confirmed, but we can still have fun. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below if you wish any of these Pokemon were put in the final version of Sun and Moon, and be sure to leave a like for World Domination because that's cool. To keep everything in order, this is gonna be like a top 10, but it's not a top 10, but it's ordered like a top 10, but it's not a top 10, if that makes okay. At number 10, we have Turtonator's pre-evolution, and the name given to this little guy is Krakatuga. I was a little disappointed not to see Turtonator's pre-evolution in the game. There's a lot of Pokemon in Sun and Moon that did not have pre-evolutions or evolutions, and you totally would expect them to have such a thing. So you may actually have to turn your head a little bit and look at this thing upside down. I honestly didn't notice it at first, but this is a little turtle who is flipped on its back. And in real life, if you see a turtle flipped on its back, you feel very, very sorry for it, and then you want to pick it up and put it right side up, but this is a bad thing. Do not do this to Krakatuga. Apparently, Turtonator has a big button on its belly that will make him explode. This is basically a mine turtle. So people think it's a helpless little turtle, and they try to flip it over, but then they just get blown up. And I would have loved this guy. He's so freaking cute, and would have made a lovely addition to the Alolan Pokedex. I'm so sad that they removed this. The leaker said back in August that this little guy had Magmar-like lips, which would make complete sense, because whenever it evolves, it gets that weird looking mouth thing. Moving on to number 9, let's cover some scrapped Alolan forms. First off, we have Alolan Paras and Alolan Parasect, and apparently these Pokemon are infected by the Morelull, which is freaking awesome. So these Alolan forms become Bug and Fairy. They would have been a perfect addition to Sun and Moon, and would even bring even more Alolan lore to this, because these Pokemon who are already infected by fungi are being infected by Alolan fungi, which is Morelull, and evolves to that freaking Satan-looking mushroom thing. It definitely has a better backstory than Alolan Dugtrio, freaking He-Man, Diglett man. But anyways, Bug Fairy Parasect, that would have been so great. The leaker said that it had spaghetti-like legs and slug-like antenna eyes, and it would have been green with a pink belly. So let's go ahead and move on to the next Pokemon. At number 8, we have Komala's evolution. The name given to it is Hibernate, which is obviously a play of hibernate because it's always sleeping. It makes me very sad to think that they had a concept for an evolution for Komala. It's basically a larger koala bear now, and it's still very, very cute. Apparently, its saliva is floating around it. That's what that stuff is, which is kind of nasty. But it has some fur on its butt that makes it look like a sweet little pillow, and I think that's adorable. As it attacks, it throws its much larger log at people and Pokemon. So that is a very lovely weapon of choice, if I do say so myself. Definitely my favorite part about it is the butt pillow. The butt pillow is freaking awesome. Kind of wish I had one. At number 7, we have Alolan Coughing and Alolan Wheezing. So the original Coughing and Wheezing are obviously the poison types that we know and love, but the Alolan forms are not the contaminated ones, and in fact they are pure fire types. On the Alolan Wheezing, instead of the second head and the other growths that we see on the original Wheezing, it has a chimney that shoots smoke instead of the poisony gassy stuff. It definitely doesn't look as miserable as the Kanto counterpart. Moving on to number 6, we have a Spider Monkey Pokemon, and this guy would have been really cool. Of course, it is a play of Spider Monkey, but of course Pokemon like to be creative with it, and this would have been a very creative Pokemon. The Spider Monkey Pokemon probably would have been a rock type, which would have been really interesting. The leaker said that it was supposed to be able to carry boulders with its many arms. Also, one of its abilities is able to form spider web, so this guy probably would have been able to learn sticky web to make your opponents nice and slow, and it could throw the webs much like a slingshot, and this is basically Spider Monkey Man. The Spider Monkey Pokemon also was supposed to be a ride Pokemon. This design really does resemble Machamp in many ways, except that he's a monkey and he's not this weird wrestler humanoid thingy. But at the same time, considering Machamp is a ride Pokemon, maybe they just scrapped the Spider Monkey Pokemon and then gave us something familiar, but Machamp as a ride Pokemon is a little bit underwhelming for me, and I really wish that this was actually incorporated into the game. But with this ride Pokemon, instead of being awkwardly carried around like Machamp does with you, you would have been able to climb up the side of cliffs and other things and avoid boulders, which the thing could protect you from. And it would have been like a little mini game, of course, and that just sounds a lot of fun. I definitely like Spider Monkey Man. I like him a lot. Moving on to number 5, we have 2 Pokemon, but they're kind of paired together, so I was just gonna put them in the same number. Also scrapped from Sun and Moon, we have Alolan Lunatone and Alolan Solrock. These 2 Pokemon are actually predicted to be in Sun and Moon as Alolan forms because they're kinda Sun and Moon Pokemon, so we kinda predicted that they may be in here. However, it is very possible that they were actually thinking about including them into the games. Instead of the 2, we got a new Pokemon that looks very, very similar to them, and that Pokemon is Minior. Those forms look very, very similar to Lunatone and Solrock. It would have been very nice if they would have included all 3 of them as some kind of plot point or some kind of plot device of some sort, because that would have been interesting. They could have been used to power up some kind of machine. They definitely would have made a lovely addition to the games. At number 4, we have 2 more Pokemon. We have a pre-evolution and its evolution. We would have got a Lava Pig and the Lava Pig evolution. So this is an idea of what they might have looked like. They were supposed to be fire rock type Pokemon, and of course they would have been very, very cute. They kind of resembled Tepig and Spoink a little bit. Well, maybe I'm just saying that because they're both pigs. The little one was supposed to have like sleepy eyes and lava dripping from its nostrils, which is kind of gross, but at the same time it's still kind of cute. I mean, we do have a bear Pokemon that has snot coming out of its nose, so this is no different. The lava coming from its nose forms a puddle around it, and then it just kind of slugs around and all that good stuff. And then its evolution, the animation of the lava within its stomach is supposed to be very, very similar to Primal Groudon. We do not have the potential names for these Pokemon, but they would have made a nice addition to the games. Moving on to number 3, we have an alternative Bonsweed evolution. Apparently they were thinking about making Bonsweed evolve into a grass fire type Pokemon. And it looks completely different from Steenie and Serena, of course, and they look all girly and stuff, but Bonsweed's evolution here, the name given to it is Pepperrot, and it was supposed to be like a dragon fruit-like Pokemon. So a grass fire type would have been the outcome of Bonsweed, and it would have had 2 evolutions. However, we already know that Steenie and Serena do not look like dragons in the slightest, and they removed the fire typing. So I'm a little disappointed about that. That would have been freaking awesome, like the play of dragon fruit. So a freaking grass dragon looking, that would have been so cool. I'm so sad. I apologize for my little tantrum right there. But anyways, moving on to number 2, we have this weird looking flower Pokemon, and he is strange. We definitely got a lot better flower Pokemon. He kind of resembles the Torternator a little bit just because of its mouth and how spiky he is, and of course he's kind of cute. I mean, he kind of spits seeds at people like a cannon, and that's kind of awesome actually. But yeah, not that much going on for this little guy, but more the merrier in my opinion. I would have loved to have all these Pokemon in the game. Before I talk about number 1, I know I said this wasn't really a top 10, but I do have some honorable mentions that I don't really have too much to talk about, so I'm calling them honorable mentions just for the sake of it. The leaker also showed us a Rock Ghost Tiki Pokemon, and I honestly think this was possibly the concept art for Marshadow, because it is a ghost type Pokemon. It is very tiny, and it does look like a little cute little baby thing. Then we had the rumors of Alolan Alakazam and Alolan Nidoking. Alolan Nidoking would have been poison fighting, and Alolan Alakazam would have been fighting psychic, which would have been really interesting. And then Piki Peck's original evolutions were possibly supposed to stay woodpeckers instead of toucans, but Game Freak actually decided to give us a twist and turn them into toucans, which I'm not really complaining about. So to our real #1 spot, even though it's not really a spot, but I'm very excited to talk about it, even though it makes me very sad. But it is very possible that Alolan Arcanine was completely scrapped from Sun and Moon. There's a lot of sources and a lot of leakers telling us that we were gonna get a water type Arcanine for Sun and Moon. This fills me with sadness, and what's worse, this was supposed to also be a ride Pokemon. Can you imagine riding on a freaking Arcanine? That would have been amazing! The information given to us about Alolan Arcanine is apparently its paws had little waves around them, and every time that it ran, it would swirl around. That would have been such a cool looking design. Also, you would have been able to ride Alola Arcanine on extremely hot water that you can't surf on. Basically, it would have been able to run on water much like Suicune does, and that is amazing because we already know that Arcanine is considered a legendary Pokemon, and we would have been able to see that in action. This was possibly an idea that was scrapped. Why would they do such a thing? But anyway, those were the Pokemon that was among the list that was actually leaked that turned out to be true, so it's very possible that these Pokemon were on the list as well, but they were removed. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and subscribe. Join the world domination. It's very, very fun. We're a family. It's kind of storming right now. You probably hear thunder and a lot of rain in the background, and I may die, so I probably should stop recording and turn my power off very quick. So, I love you guys. Here are my social links, and yeah, follow me. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.